Hey there everyone, I'm Samuel Johnson and welcome back to the Lyoko Retrospectives and Happy New Year to you all! I apologize if throughout this video I seem a bit out of it due to the New Year festivities. I just using air quotes because I didn't really do anything. But bottom line, because of the New Year I stayed up very late last night, and as a result when I eventually did fall asleep I did not sleep very long, and as a result I'm just in a mood today, cranky, irritable, just impatient, just essentially in a state of mind where every little thing is going to piss me off. So, apologies in advance if I'm not putting forth the greatest amount of effort into this vlog. But I'm gonna try, but so sorry. On top of that, I'm probably gonna be rushing through some things. So again, apologies in advance. But again, show must go on, and regardless of my attitude, I hope you had a good new. Hope you had enjoyed New Year's Eve, and here's hoping that 2021 is a lot better than 2020. So anyway, with that all being said, it's time we took a look at episode 55 of Lyoko, Tidal Wave, and essentially, the episode, for the most part, is just kind of another Lyoko adventure with some more twists. Essentially, in this case, the thread of the week is Xana manages to possess the school cafeteria. Pretty much manages to possess all the school's food. I'm not even kidding. Like, the school starts trying to employ more healthy eating, so they start having more healthy foods being served at lunch. But when Odd and Ulrich try sneaking in after lunch to try and get more of the unhealthy stuff, the food suddenly comes alive and attacks them and Jim, because Jim was there too, grabbing his own snack. As such, with the revelation of Xana's attack, Jeremy and Ilena become aware of Xana's attack first because they were going to go to the factory to look up some data that the group had gotten from Sector 5, but the scanner wound up picking up the activated tower, so they wound up calling everybody, with Yumi managing to get there first. As such, she and Ilena end up going to Lyoko, and for the most part, everything seems to be just a normal run. They go to the mountain sector, try and find the tower, even get attacked by a monster, but then Xana throws a curveball to them, as he manages to find a way to screw with Lyoko's settings, and causes the digital sea to rise. And as we've seen throughout the series, the digital sea is a lot more dangerous than any monster in Lyoko, as anything that makes contact with it or falls into it is pretty much just destroyed, and it's just pretty much destroyed for good, as like in season 1 when Yumi fell into it, and the only reason she was still around is because they had the first version of the Code Earth program on standby so they could devirtualize her. Bottom line, though, the instant it starts being raised, one of the monster that was chasing after them is completely destroyed, and unfortunately, and while the sector itself is fine, as it only affects avatars and monsters, unfortunately, because of the risen level of the digital sea, Ilena cannot enter the tower. To make matters worse, because the digital sea is rising, with the digital sea rising, it would also cut off the group from Sector 5, as the group has to go to the edge of the sector, and then Jeremy has to input the Scipio code in order to go to Sector 5. So if the whole sector is submerged, Sector 5, they'd be cut off completely from Sector 5. Which yeah, that was Xana's plan the whole time, as while this is happening, he's also launching an attack on the core of Lyoko there. But, as such, essentially the episode is just that groups trying to deal with their respective threats, and again, there's nothing really bigger plot important that's going on in this episode. It's just kind of more of a thread of the week with more stuff going on. Like, again, for example, the monster stuff, it feels just like general stuff that you would see in season 1 of Code Lyoko, like causing mayhem, trying to kill them, and just having the monster go after them. It's just kind of the same silly fun you'd see from the season 1. And again, the whole thing with the digital sea is pretty much resolved as you would. Again, the episode is just kind of more of the same from Code Lyoko. It's not bad at all. Like, actually, again, it still showcases Xana thinking outside the box in this case. As, again, we see we see him finding more and more strategy to take down the group. In this case, he activates a tower to cause a threat, and so it pretty much ensures that anyone that's in the real world has something that's stalking them, and then to ensure the threats keeps going and to essentially cut off the group from hurting him, from getting in the way of his plans. He in turn raises the digital C, because again they only have one way to get to Sector 5, and that's through the Scipio code, and on top of that, and again it cuts them off from the tower. So it's essentially a win-win, and even if, and again, in the time it takes for them to deal with all these problems, one or more of these things could easily stop them. Like first, like priorities first, they have to find a way to because again, while Xana's doing all this, he's launching an attack on the core of Lyoko. So first priority is getting to Sector 5 and not only stopping the monsters but finding the code to unscrew the digital C so it'll lower again. But then of course in the real world, anyone that's out there that's in the real world, in this case Oregon On, has to deal with the giant pile of food that's just constantly chasing after them. It's just like a big what the heck. It's just kind of a war on two fronts, so to speak. And I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't really think of anything much to talk about with the episode because it's just another filler episode. Again, not bad filler, as it's entertaining to watch, and it's still kind of nice seeing, and it's admittedly kind of amusing seeing the giant pile of food going after the group. But I don't know. Again, it feels like just kind of a season 1 episode with more elements from later on introduced, like with Xana being smarter, having multiple fronts attack. There is more there's more going on in the episode because to keep everybody busy, but ultimately there's not really much in the way. But ultimately, it's just a regular standard Lyoko plot. Even the B plot, there's even a B plot with Odd apparently him having missed breakfast, so he's hungry all day, and because they're only serving healthy foods, he refuses to eat it. So ultimately, throughout the whole episode, he's just hungry, which for some reason carries over into Lyoko, which I don't really understand how that works since they've been digitized and turned to avatars, so I don't think they really need to eat while they're in Lyoko, but whatever. Running gag, I guess. But yeah, otherwise the episode's just kind of standard Lyoko fare, but with some more added elements to help kind of keep up with the change in status quo that's been happening, which I kind of like. And speaking of which, just a small detail that I like. In the beginning of the episodes, when they show the episode title, they've been showcasing towers or something. For this episode, when they show the episode title, on the side, instead of seeing the tower, you saw a map of Lyoko. But since the 4 sector was deleted in the last episode, now you just see the 3 sectors. Which again, I like little details like that, and part of me kind of likes that because it showcases just kind of how much ground that Xana has gained throughout the series. So whenever you see the beginning of the episode and you see that, you're like, okay, so he's down 1, but there's still 3, and essentially as the series can go on, as more sectors go away, it kind of makes you realize just how close the bad guy is to getting what they want. It's actually pretty unnerving, and I like that. Just little details like that. So I don't know. I really don't know what else to say about the episode. It's just kind of standard Lyoko fare. There's no major plot points that are developed. No major character arcs that are expanded on. It's just Xana creates a food monster and then floods the digital sea to ensure the group will not only not be able to stop it, but also to cut them off from Sector 5 while he launches an attack there as well. Again, it's him being smart and just trying to think of ways to outmaneuver the group, but he only manages to fail because the group was faster than the digital C. So, yeah, because they do manage to get to Sector 5 before before all of the mountain sector was submerged. So yeah, but yeah, on the whole, it's an alright episode. Nothing really was excelled or nothing was really excelled. No major plot points were revealed. No major character stuff happened. Just an alright filler episode. So yeah. That's about it. Thank you for watching. I'm Samuel Johnson. I'm sure this is a great way to usher in the new year, and tune in next week where I will hopefully be less sleep deprived and we'll hopefully have an episode with more meat to it that I can talk about. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. Take care.